everybody, and welcome to this lunar eclipse on the 5th of May special of the weekly scope. So yeah, I'm just going to jump right into it. So you know me, you can skip this part if you want, but first I'm going to talk about the geeky facts of lunar eclipses. What do they mean, how many types there are, and all of that. So lunar eclipses are like the rock stars of astronomy and astrology. They have millions of fans all over the world who eagerly anticipate their next performance, and when they finally take to the stage, it's like a visual spectacle that is out of this world, especially if there's a total eclipse, which is the most commonly known eclipse. People gather around their telescopes or set up camp outside just to witness this cosmic concert. So yeah, but not all, as I said, lunar eclipses are created equal. Some are like the opening act. You're excited to see them, but they're not quite as impressive as the main event. So yeah, they're not quite as impressive as the main event. Others are like, you know, an encore. They come back for one more show-stopping performance before calling it a night, and we've all been their favourite band and we call them back on. They give us, you know, a great performance and leave us wanting more, but we're just memorised by that last encore. So yeah, and I guess that's the total eclipse is what gets that from us, but there are two other eclipses. So yeah, if you want to experience the full range of eclipses performance, make sure you check out all three types of eclipses: total, partial and penumbral. Each lunar eclipse is unique and has its own distinct flavour, kind of like your different flavours of ice cream, but instead of chocolate and vanilla, they have blood moons and shadow play. So yeah, either way, whatever eclipse you get to, you know, envision or visualize, no, see, that's the right word, see, it's a treat for our eyes and our imagination. So yeah, the first total eclipse I'm going to talk about is the total lunar eclipse. This is the rock star, you know, the main event. This occurs when the moon passes through the Earth's innermost shadow, which is known as the umbra, U-M-B-R-A. A total lunar eclipse is when the sun, earth and moon are precisely in line with the earth in the middle. During this time, the earth atmosphere reflects sunlight, scattering shorter wavelength light and making the remainder longer wavelength light pass through and reach the moon. This process gives the moon its deep red or orange colour during a total lunar eclipse, and we often call this a blood moon because, you know, the moon looks so red and like blood. So yeah, the intensity of the colour of the blood moon depends on the amount of dust and other particles in the Earth's atmosphere, which can affect how much sunlight is bent and how much, you know, red is seen in the moon. So the eclipse's total phase can last for up to an hour or more, and it is a, you know, a spectacle, a sight to see, and people do travel all over the world to see these. So yeah, the second lunar eclipse is called the partial lunar eclipse, and this happens when only a part of the moon passes through the umbra and the rest passes through the penumbra, which is the Earth's outer shadow. During the partial lunar eclipse, the Earth does not completely block the light that falls on the moon, and this results in a partial darkening of the lunar surface, and as the moon continues to move along its orbit, it eventually exits the umbra and returns to its normal state. So partial lunar eclipses occur when the Earth, moon and sun are not aligned in a straight line, making them less rare than the total eclipses. These eclipses can be seen from any location on Earth where the moon is visible during the event. So this makes it totally, because sometimes a total lunar eclipse only part of the world sees them, but as long as you can see the moon, we've got a chance. So we do get to see them in the part of the world where I'm in the UK, and you're bound to have seen one of these wherever you are as well. And the third type of lunar eclipse, so there's three, so this is the last one, and this is called the penumbral, P-E-N-U-M-B-R-A-L lunar eclipse. I'm just spelling it for myself and spelling it for you because, you know, some of these words are a bit slippery for me to say. So yeah, this eclipse occurs when the moon passes through the Earth's penumbra and the outer part of the planet's shadow. So this results in a subtle darkening of the lunar surface, and the moon's brightness dims as it passes through the fainter outer part of the Earth's shadow. So this type of lunar eclipse differs from a total and partial lunar eclipse because, as I said earlier, partial and total lunar eclipses occur when the moon passes through the Earth's umbra, which is the dark central part of the Earth's shadow, but a penumbral eclipse happens in a subtle way, so it's a subtle darkening of the moon's lunar surface, and therefore, you know, it doesn't turn red or orange or anything like that. Whereas the partial and total eclipse day, often the moon looks a different colour. So yeah, so as I said before, people travel across the world to witness these rare events. Some people do it for fun, and other people, like astronomers and armchair scientists, if you want to call them that, or armchair astrologers like myself, whatever, you know, we'll go and have a look to help us observe these lunar eclipses, to try and understand the universe's, you know, mysteries on a deeper level. So in conclusion, there are 3 types of lunar eclipses, which are penumbral, partial and total. Each type has a unique characteristic and can offer a stunning spectacle to those of us who are lucky enough to witness any of them. So yeah, whether you're an astrology enthusiast or just someone who enjoys natural wonders, a lunar eclipse is an event worth watching. With the right equipment and knowledge, you can have a front row seat to witness one of the universe's most awe-inspiring celestial events, and studying the different types of lunar eclipses can give us valuable insight into the Earth, Moon, Sun system, as well as the entire solar system and the cosmos itself, and make us understand how, you know, celestial bodies interact with each other. So yeah, that's the end of the geeky facts of the lunar eclipse. And now we're going to talk about the summary of the astrological and spiritual meaning of the flower moon penumbral eclipse, which happens this year on the 5th of May in constellational Vedic astrology, when the moon's in the 21st Sabian degree of Libra. So yeah, lunar eclipses only happen at the time of a full moon, and on the 5th of May the penumbral lunar eclipse is happening at the time of the full flower moon. And as I said earlier, but just in case you didn't listen to that geeky fact bit, lunar eclipse penumbral phase happens when the moon passes through the Earth's outer shadow, and this casts a subtle veil over its luminous glow, so it doesn't turn red like in the total blood moon. So the esoteric meaning of the penumbral lunar eclipse varies depending on, you know, different cultural and spiritual beliefs, but in general the penumbral lunar eclipse and all eclipse periods actually are seen as a time for introspection, you know, self-reflection on the shadow aspects of ourselves. So you may be asking, what is a flower moon? So a flower moon basically refers to the full moon that appears in May each year. So every full moon in May is called a flower moon. Said that twice, you know me by now. It's also called the corn planting, or the melt moon, and it comes from the fact that May is typically the month when flowers start to bloom in most parts of the northern hemisphere. So the full moon in May is associated with the arrival of spring and the promise of new beginnings, and the flower moon has been celebrated by people across all cultures throughout history. In Native American traditions, the full flower moon represents fertility and growth. It's a time when people are encouraged to plant new crops and start new projects. In some cultures, the flower moon is also associated with love and romance. Many people believe that the energy of the full moon can help to bring about positive changes into our lives, so they use this time to set intentions and make wishes. You know, whether you believe in the spiritual significance of the flower moon or simply appreciate the beauty of nature, this flower moon reminds us all about the cycles of life, the ebbs and flows, and that the world's always turning. And at this flower moon, it's works very nicely with the lunar penumbral energy, which wants us to go within and examine ourselves and embrace the shadow aspects of ourselves, including our fears, our doubts, and our repressed emotions. And by acknowledging and accepting these parts of our personalities, we can cultivate greater self self-awareness and ultimately become more balanced individuals. So it's about letting go of the old and releasing old thought, behaviour and relationship patterns, and letting in the new, which the flower moon wants us to let into our lives, planting new seeds for new things, new personality traits, or just embracing our light and shadow, because a lot of time in life we run away from our dark sides. All humans have them, and we have to express them and try and channel it in, you know, great ways like art, poetry and stuff, before we all become axe murderers. Sorry, that just came into my head, you know, me wacky out of nowhere. But you know, I do believe if we let out our aggression in healthy ways, it would be much better and there'd be a whole lot of violence in the world. But anyway, back to talking about what the astrological and spiritual meaning for the full flower moon. So yeah, it's a time to align with our highest intentions and connect with the divine energies that surround us, allowing ourselves to tap into our inner wisdom, creativity and authenticity, bringing about a sense of unity and resilience within ourselves, and, you know, having the willingness to take on challenges and opening up to the potential for unexpected shifts in the way we think about things or the way we see reality as a whole. For some of you, this eclipse may bring clarity to situations that have been clouded or confusing for you, allowing for positive growth and movements forward. And as we all travel through this period of the eclipse, we may find ourselves becoming more tuned to the powerful energies of the universe as the light of the moon illuminates our inner selves. So in preparation for this event, it's crucial to cultivate a sense of open-mindedness and being receptive to the energies of change and expansion, letting go of our comfort zones, you know, ignoring people who say you can't do this or that, or even you're never too old. And yes, we're all not going to be millionaires. We know that's where logic comes in, that's when the practicalities, you know. But I do believe we all can build a better life for ourselves than the ones that we're having now. And I believe if, you know, we can gain peace of mind, at least 51% in our minds, we will get so much more out of life, because the past we can never change. Never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever, ever. Sorry, just kind of went into outcast there, but yeah, we can never change that, but we can change our future if we embrace the now and take positive steps forward to do so. So during the lunar eclipse, you may want to practice meditation and set some clear intentions that can help you align with the lunar eclipse more esoteric, spiritual, higher vibrations. And because it occurs in the 21st Sabian degree of Libra, and this is a summary, you all know me by now, I'm going to go highly in depth into all these logistics and aspects of this lunar eclipse later on. But yeah, if you just want to, you know, the short end of it. So because the moon is in the 21st of degree of Libra, that's where I was, yes, we are reminded to seek balance in all aspects of our lives, including our relationships, work and personal growth. And this eclipse is a cue to reflect on our past and present and make conscious decisions about where we want to go next. As I said, take some time out to connect with nature, meditate and let your intuition guide you towards, you know, alignment with your higher self and purpose. And because it can be intense, you know, letting go, getting out of our comfort zone. Who really wants to do that? It's so nice, it's so warm in comfort zones. Oh, I know the people, I know how things are going to be, but you know, sometimes we have to, you know, break out of that mode. And this is why this is the perfect time to release old patterns and negative emotions and limited beliefs, allowing you to create that space for new beginnings and a fresh start, and focus your thoughts and emotions on what you want to manifest in your lives, and practicing gratitude and visualizing your desired outcomes. And no, it's not going to jump out of the air. I meant to say drop, let's stick with jump. We do have to work practically, you know. For some of us, we do just get, you know, it's in our natal charts, we have lucky lives and charmed lives, you know. We all go through the cycles of reincarnation, and believe me, one time or another we're on that stage, but it's not as great as we want. Just imagine, you may love it for a while, people following you everywhere, taking pictures and that, but after a while, you know, it will get on your nerves. Most of us, you know, we do want the money, we want the stability and a nice family, but we don't necessarily want the fame, even though we may think that we do because it looks so great and glamorous, but in reality it's not all that glamorous really. But yeah, back on point. So yeah, if you're prepared to do the hard work to make your visions reality, they can, because this eclipse energy is amplifying our intentions. So whatever you put your actions and thoughts towards now will come through with practical action. So, you know, focus on energy healing and connecting with your higher self to gain clarity. And all in all, it's a positive time to tap into the powerful vibrations of the universe and create positive changes in your life. And because, you know, this is happening when the moon's in the constellation of Libra, so our relationships are under the spotlight, and this energy wants us to bring more harmony into our connections with others and balance within ourselves. So it's excellent energy to do all sort of introspection or have discussions with people you're in relationships with, and identify any imbalances in your relationships where you need to improve, give and take. You know, are your relationships equal? That's a big question. Are you giving too much? Are you taking too much? Are others giving too much to you, or they're taking too much from you? How can you weigh up those Libra scales and make sure things become more equal, and make sure that you go forward and start building your relationships with mutual love, respect and equality? The energy wants us to be honest about our needs in our relationships and to communicate in a way that provides the space for greater understanding and compromise to be developed in our relationships. And by focusing on developing relationships made on mutual give and take, equality, reciprocity yeah, and balance, you can deepen your connections with yourself and others and bring more harmony into your life. Also, you know, you can use this energy if you are single or self-partner to explore your passions and find new ways to express yourself. Use the eclipse to tap into your inner artist and release your creativity. As I said, try new things, step out of your comfort zone, as this is a time when you can be more open if you allow yourself to innovative ideas and new approaches to living your life, going about, you know, your writing, creating your art form. You know, AI is coming into the space, so instead of hating technology, it is not going to take over the world, as much as many people say. I'm optimistic in this, but what it can do, it can help us get things done easier, because that's what technology, that's the best use of it, is using it to enhance our lives, not rule our lives or forget our humanity. So think about how you can use, you know, these modern tools to improve your life and to get the best out of it and to help you get to where you want to be in life as well. Trust your intuition and let your imagination flow freely as you embrace this transformative energy of the full flower moon. And it serves of a cosmic reminder to get our lives in order. The moon's in this 21st Sabin degree of Libra, and to, you know, bring more fairness into our lives. So think of it like a celestial boot camp for your soul. It may not be as exciting as a meteor shower or a solar eclipse, which we had at the time of recording. This hasn't happened, but it's happening in 4 days and I'm excited about it. Hybrid, rare solar eclipse. But yeah, this is the lunar eclipse I'm talking about now. But yeah, so it may not be as exciting as the solar eclipse, hybrid, woo, but sometimes we need a little nudge from the universe to help us stay centered. And all these eclipse and solar eclipse energies are, you know, helping us, and there's going to be a couple more this year as well. So just think of it, you know, don't think, oh, I've got to change everything at once. Just think of these as building blocks, building up your inner resolve and willpower so you can take advantage of all of these energies. And some of you may even discover some hidden talents along the way. The astrological spiritual meaning of this Penumbral Lunar Eclipse encourages us to embrace compromise, seek justice and work towards finding more peace in our relationships with ourselves, others and within our communities. And by tapping into this energy, we can make the best use of it, and we can align ourselves with the cosmic flow of the universe and create a more fulfilling, joyful and harmonious existence. So yeah. So now I'm going to talk about the rituals we can do at the Penumbral any lunar eclipse. So now I'm going to talk about the spiritual, emotional, psychological and esoteric and holistic rituals we can do at the time of lunar eclipses. The Penumbral Eclipse in Libra is an opportunity to start anew and plant seeds of intention for new beginnings. Take a moment to focus on balance, harmony and partnerships, as well as write down our goals and desires for the coming months. We can use this time to manifest abundance in all areas of our life. We can begin by cleansing ourselves of any negative energy or old patterns that no longer serve us. So the following rituals can be used to help us best use the energies of lunar eclipses. So we can start a lunar eclipse day with meditation and grounding energies to connect with the energy of the lunar eclipse and plant seeds of intention for new beginnings. We can write down our goals and desires for the coming months, focusing on building more balance and harmony within ourselves. And lunar energy, eclipse energy, is a great time to manifest abundance in our lives, and we can take a cleansing bath or shower to rid ourselves of any negative energy or old patterns that no longer serve us. We can use essential oils like lavender, rosemary, crystals, or any amulets we can put into the bath with us or into the shower to enhance our relaxation and clarity. Another way, we can create an altar with crystals and candles and other items that resonate with the lunar eclipse energy, and these serve as a visual representation of our intentions and remind us to stay grounded and focus on our goals over the next 3 months to 3 years, because all these eclipse energies can last for those lengths of times. Some of you may decide to perform a tarot or oracle card or I Ching or anything else type of reading, any other tools that you have, or go within and connect with your inner self to gain insight and clarity on what to focus on during the lunar eclipse period, using your intuition to guide you towards the messages that are most relevant to you. Some of you may want to practice yoga or dance movements that promote balance and harmony. Poses like the tree pose, warrior pose, dancer Shiva, or any other dance that you choose for energetic boost can help you. Any other gentle movement or fast movement, whatever floats your boat. Some of you may decide to connect with nature by taking a mindful walk in a nearby park or forest or in your back garden, around your house or your space, open your windows and breathe in the fresh air and allow yourself to immerse in the beauty of your surroundings, offering gratitude for Earth's abundance and beauty. Some of you may decide to use sound healing tools like singing bowls or chimes to clear away any energetic blockages and promote inner harmony, allowing the vibrations to penetrate every cell of your being and releasing any tension or stress. You may want to practice self-care routines that nourish your soul, such as cooking, a healthy meal, reading a book and listening to music, using this time to honour your body, mind and spirit and their needs and cultivate a sense of inner peace and well-being. Others of you may connect with loved ones or like-minded individuals on or offline who share the same passions and values with you at the time of the lunar eclipse, and you can use the lunar eclipse energy to strengthen relationships or seek out new partnerships. So on the day or over the coming weeks and months after, you don't all have to rush out and look for someone, Or some of you may decide to develop a sense of community that supports your growth and expansion. And it's always important to remember that true abundance comes from a place of love and connection, and that we can manifest our highest potential by working together. So also I'm just going to mention a few rituals that you can do in the night of the lunar eclipse or the nights after it. So yeah, it's good to meditate under the moonlight and visualize the positive energy flowing through you and around you like a river cleansing you. Taking a salt water bath to cleanse your aura and release negativity and restore emotional balance. Burning sage or Palo Santo, that's what I'm going to be doing to clear away any negative energy from your environment. connect with nature, taking a walk, hug a tree, or commune with flowers I love. I don't know, human beings can give good hugs, but I get the best hugs from trees, and that may sound a bit wacky, but it is what it is. Or you can use affirmations to set intentions like I am worthy, I am happy, I am abundant, I am confident in my abilities and decisions, I am surrounded by love and positivity, and I trust that everything happens for my highest good. I am mindful of my thoughts and I choose positivity. I am grateful for all blessings in my life. I deserve success and abundance. My mind, body and spirit are healthy and strong. I radiate joy and peace wherever I go. I embrace change and welcome new opportunities. Setting intentions through affirmations is a powerful way to manifest your desires and achieve your goals. By repeating positive statements to yourself, you can shift your mindset and attract positivity into your life. When you believe in your worthiness, you can approach challenges with confidence and overcome obstacles with ease. And if you choose happiness as your mindset, you can attract more happiness into your life and find joy in even the simplest things and simplest moments. Also, creating an altar with crystals, flowers, candles, or other meaningful objects to you to enhance your spiritual practice can be good. And as you set up your altar, take a moment to reflect on the intention behind each item you place on it. The crystals or other things you choose can be selected for their healing properties or specific meanings, while things like flowers may represent growth and transformation. The candles that you lit can bring warmth and light into space as you meditate or perform other rituals. Creating an intentional altar sets the stage for a deeper connection with yourself and whatever higher power you believe in. It can also serve as a powerful visual reminder of your spiritual journey and growth. Whether you practice daily rituals or simply take a moment to connect with your altar when you need it, the act of creating this sacred space can bring peace and grounding to your life. So now I'm just going to talk about an esoteric ritual that some people do at the time of lunar eclipse, whether it's a total, penumbral or umbral one. So again, it involves creating an altar, but this time you do it with items that represent the elements of air, fire, water and earth. So one item or several items representing the 4 elements. Also, candles are involved, and lighting incense of your choice can help create a serene atmosphere. Meditating or visualizing intentions for balance and harmony into your life, or letting go, or whatever your intentions are at the time. You could also consider performing a releasing ceremony by writing down negative emotions or thoughts on a piece of paper, or even positive ones. Sometimes we want good things to happen, but we keep on thinking them and then get stressed out. So we can write these down and release them to the universe, trusting that the universe will let them go out of our lives or let them come into our lives in its own time. If you think about manifestation as a pregnancies often take 9 months, human ones do, and they happen in darkness, because although we have ultrasounds, the baby's in there and growing in the dark, and sometimes we need to allow our ideas grow in the dark as well and not overly think them or discuss them. So writing down things on a piece of paper and burning them symbolizes to the universe that we're letting go of not only of what no longer serves us and clearing the space for new opportunities and positive energy, but also we're letting go of control of the timescale when we want these things to come into our life, and we trust that they will come into our lives in their own perfect timing. So these rituals allow us to manifest, to heal, to reflect, and ultimately trust our intuition and our guides and the higher power to guide us towards spiritual growth and transformation. So yes, that's the end of the rituals. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the specific astrology of the full flower moon in more depth now. So at the time of the full flower moon penumbral lunar eclipse, which is taking place when the moon's in the 21st degree of Libra on the 5th of May, As we know, full moons are known to bring serious emotions to the forefront of our mind and can also cause erratic behaviours and also thoughts. That's why the term lunatic comes from the full moon phase. So as the moon reaches its fullest point, our deepest fears and desires are brought or can be brought to the surface, forcing us to confront or avoid them head on. Some of us may feel a sense of overwhelming passion or creativity, while others may become consumed by anxiety or restlessness. Because this full moon comes with a lunar eclipse happening in Libra, you can expect some balance to be restored in your relationships, maybe if you're open to it, or maybe some disbalance to come in on, so it's not always positive, but I believe that whatever happens is in the long run positive, because we have to sort it out rather than pushing it under the carpet. And if we're prepared to do that, we can even smile when life is a bit crap. So yeah, and also spotlighting the fact that everyone should have a relationship with themselves as a fundamental relationship in their life, and also with any higher power or God that they believe in. Some of you may finally confront that friend who never returns your texts, or have that discussion you've been putting off with your lover or business partner. And don't be surprised if you suddenly feel more social and crave more human interaction, as the full flower moon is also known for bringing people together or making people think they want to be together when they maybe just will take some time out, because arguments can happen. But yeah, for some of you, this lunar eclipse in Libra can be a time to create magical connections. So for some of you, don't take things too seriously. Let loose and dance under the moonlight, or have that long overdue conversation with that loved one over a glass of wine or drink of your choice. But just be careful, because if you choose alcohol or any other intoxicating substances, things can get a bit wacky. Whatever you do choose to do, make sure it comes from a place of authenticity and fun. But because we can't forget also that this can also be a time for introspection and self-reflection. People, when you get drunk and all the emotions come out, and it can quickly turn into heated, just watch out for that. But and also don't neglect your own emotional needs in the pursuit of socializing. If you feel the inner call to be alone, even though this may be alien to you, do so, because trust me, you don't want to end up a weeping mess at the end of the night because you ignore your own feelings. So if you do feel like, I should stay in, don't force yourself to go out, because it may not go well, but your life, your choice. So yeah, it's good during this full flower moon to do whatever you do with an open heart and an open mind, and see where that takes you. And for some of you, it can be a time of something beautiful, even though it may be a time of chaos and endings, but can bring something wonderful into your life at the end. And if you do take the time to know yourself on a deeper level and find the balance you need to navigate through life and keep a playful attitude, who knows what kind of surprises the universe may have in store for you. Just remember to keep your emotions in check and not let them overpower your logic. And with the added influence of Libra, this lunar eclipse may bring some much needed harmony and fairness into life. But hey, let's be honest, we probably can just end up crying alone in our rooms while eating ice cream straight from the tub, or any other food of your choice. But fun and joke aside, either way, it's bound to be an emotional ride, and it's sure to be a memorable night under the light of the full flower moon. For some of you, just don't forget the tissues. So now I'm just going to talk about the deeper meanings of the aspects that are happening at the time that are involving the sun and the moon. So the moon is making an opposition to the sun. Mercury is also opposing the moon, and the moon is also making a sextile square to Venus, trining Mars, and the moon also is making an opposition to Uranus and a quincunx to Chiron. The sun's making a conjunction to Mercury and semi-square to Venus, and a quintal to Saturn, and also a conjunction to Uranus. So as I said earlier, the moon will be in opposition to both the sun and Mercury, so this can bring, and backs up, as I said, that there is a chance for emotional trauma turmoil and conflicting thoughts or communication. This can create a sense of tension and unease and could make it difficult to express yourself clearly. Additionally, the moon will also be in a sextile aspect with Venus, so this can bring, highlights potential relationship challenges or issues with self-worth and value. But because the moon is also in the trine, it allows us to take these hard aspects on the chin, giving us a boost of energy and motivation for taking actions towards our personal goals and letting go of the things we need to let go of. Also, the moon is making an opposition to Uranus, so backing up for some of you can be sudden changes in moods. So going out on that night out, as I said, may lead to unexpected events or unexpected events across the weeks and months after the lunar eclipse, which can be unsettling for some of you. It can also open up new opportunities for growth and learning. The moon's quincunx to Chiron also, can bring up those deep emotional, psychological, spiritual wounds and past traumas, and can cause us to feel vulnerable and exposed. But all in all, this energy also helps us to heal and release our past hurts. The sun's conjunction to Mercury can bring clarity and focus to our thoughts and communication, so this energy makes it a good time to set intentions and make plans for the future. The sun semi-square to Venus also shows that it can be a challenging time right now between our social connections Venus and our sense of self Sun. So again, backing up that these personal relationships can experience challenges right now, and it can be hard for us to find a balance between self-care and meeting other people's needs as well. So it's best to use this energy to approach conflicts with empathy and compromise rather than going in all guns blazing and making it worse. And as I said earlier, adding alcohol and drugs to the mix can just make things blow out of proportion. So just think twice, like Celine Dion sang once before you do whatever you're doing. And if you don't know who she is, just Google her, because whatevs. So the sun also makes a quintile to Saturn, and this can bring a sense of purpose and responsibility to our lives, and this aspect can provide the discipline and focus needed to make progress towards our goals, but it also comes with a risk of becoming too rigid or stuck in our ways. And the best use of this aspect is to use structure and discipline to work towards our objectives while remaining open to new ideas and approaches. Last, the sun's conjunction to Uranus brings a sense of excitement, change and innovation to our lives. So this energy is encouraging us to break free from tradition, the status quo, conformity, other people's expectations, even our own expectations of who we think we should be, and be who we are, going to that authentic self of not living up to having the money, the house and the car. And we can't all just be, what's the word for it, tormented artists or creatives and that, but we all can sort of make room in our lives for our passions as well. So the best use of this sun conjunct Uranus energy is to follow new and unconventional paths, new ideas. Again, can bring in those sudden changes that may be difficult to navigate, but if we embrace the unexpected with a dash of humour and a pinch of salt, things will be great, because after all, life is too short to take everything seriously. We do need to have fun, we do need to chill out, we need to sometimes laugh when we are feeling depressed, which is hard to do. I know myself, suffering with these things for a lifetime, but I have learned over time to do so. Because face it, I think anxiety and depression and stuff is a natural reaction to the world, which is becoming more and more every day like the Hunger Games. So to me it's a normal response, it's nothing to be ashamed of, but it's also, we have to try and not let our psychological emotional illnesses to stop us from achieving what we can. I do believe that we can achieve things in spite in these, and in fact that these mental illness, even though it's not fun and stuff, sometimes gives us this edge and helps us see the world in different ways. It's not all doom and gloom, even though sometimes it is doom and gloom. I hope you get what I'm saying there. So yeah, Overall, at the time of the lunar eclipse on the 5th of May, the best use of these transits are to focus on assertive communication, finding the balance between emotions and logic, and to reflect on our relationships, try and make them better, making sure that the relationships we have in our life align with our personal values and priorities, while also tapping into our motivation and drive energy to make progress towards our goals, and staying grounded while doing so, as well as taking care of our emotional well-being and remaining open to new experiences and ideas. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the hidden esoteric astrological meaning of the full flower moon on the 5th of May by explaining what the Sabin degrees of the moon, sun and Uranus means. And Sabin degrees in astrology represent different areas, degrees of the zodiac, and they all have a spiritual and esoteric meaning that when we unlock them can give us clues not only into our own natal charts but into the hidden purpose of things such as lunar eclipses and solar eclipses and stuff like that. So as I said, the moon is going to be in the 21st degree of Libra, so the Sabin symbol of that degree. The tagline is a crowd upon the beach, so this symbol implies a sense of community and gathering together in a social setting, so backing up everything I've said throughout the audio about this eclipse and its central meaning, which is about coming together in our relationships and within our own being as well. So using the beach and its seas as a metaphor for the interconnected of human society, this Sabin degree urges us all to follow the call to step up and be honest to our most authentic self, and to also help uplift the collective consciousness. And as I keep on saying, for some of us it's not a big thing, it simply can be changing ourselves and just doing that. If you're committed to changing yourself, being open to change, that can help uplift us all as a collective 100 or even a million fold, because us humans can like our comfort zone and stick to them and then regret it on our deathbed. So if you're brave enough to change, that does wonders for us all. So yeah, the 21st degree reminds us of the importance of reconnecting with the natural world as well, because the imagery of the beach and the seas and nature, and developing a sense of community while doing this. And the crowd upon the beach under the light of the Libra moon represents a beautiful harmony between humanity and nature, and also the subconscious and our conscious minds, bringing our shadow, because that's what lunar eclipses are, that's what they represent. It goes dark, so it goes into darkness, even though this Penumbral one's subtle. So it's reminding us to make our many selves one, and that we're not alone in this journey of refining our characters and becoming better people. And if we can on the way build a sense of community, so repairing our families if we can, not always possible, repairing our relationships. Some of you may have not talked to a mum or dad, sister for years, and they may have hurt you and all the rest of it, and I know it can be painful. No one's saying don't ignore any red flags, so let them back into your life, but sometimes we could test the water. Maybe some of these relationships can be repaired, maybe not, if you feel strong enough. And only because I don't want people who if you don't feel like you need to, or you don't feel strong enough to feel forced to try and repair bridges, but if you feel now's the time, maybe, or maybe accepting someone's apology can be good for you as well. And as we stare at the vast expanse of the sky above us, we can be reminded of how small we all are in this universe. And sometimes this realization can be overwhelming, but it can also be humbling, as it teaches us to respect the world and appreciate all it has to offer. And these Sabin degrees urge us to find ways to connect with nature and build a sense of community. Some of you may start by taking walks in the local park, your garden, volunteering for environmental projects in your area or in the world, going on that trip you may have wanted to help out in a different country since you was a teenager, and now you're older and you think, oh, my opportunity's gone. No, opportunities are always there. But what I'm like, make sure you're not joining the cult, because there's plenty of them out there. Remember, you should always keep your autonomy. No spiritual leader or no one should ever try and say you need to go through them to get to your higher self or your higher power. Yeah, they can help you, they can guide you, but if anything tries to make themselves yourself, your higher power, then just be skeptical of all of that. Yeah, so anyway, work towards building a greater sense of self and community, and taking that time to reflect and appreciate our unique qualities, and we can become more confident in our own skin by doing this, and you know, we're able to contribute to the world and the people around us in a better way, and finding ways to be more true to ourselves and just improving ourselves as well. So ultimately, the 21st sabin degree of Libra reminds us that we're all connected to each other in the world, and we can honour our interrelatedness by living authentically, by building communities when we can, or joining communities of like-minded people, because sometimes, you know, family are the people who you make your family and act like your family, and a lot of time it's not our birth family. So, you know, and doing anything you can, you know, to cherish the natural world. So at the time of the lunar eclipse, the sun is positioned on the 21st degree of Aries. So, you know, Aries is first house, Libra 7th house, and don't quote me on this, but I'm sure the next lunar eclipse is, or the solar eclipse, forget it, but yeah, let's stick to this point. Sabin degree, the tagline is a pugilist entering the ring. So this degree symbolises the beginning of a journey and stepping into a new phase of life on the start of a new cycle. It also symbolises, you know, the importance of taking risks in life, breaking out of non-conformity, as I was saying earlier, standing up for yourself and engaging in challenging situations, even though they are challenging, and, you know, urging us once again to get out of our comfort zone. So why I do this sabin degree is to show how, you know, all these aspects and energies all work together, and how much energy you've got supporting you to get us along, or get you along on your journey at this lunar eclipse. So yeah, this degree acts as a reminder that when we go out there into the world, as I said earlier about seeking fame, and it's not all as glam as what it looked, when we do look for social recognition and influence, and we may go out there and, you know, make as much money as we can so we can achieve, you know, recognition and power. And the key theme of the symbol exposes their innate human desire to achieve dominance and authority in the world, and this can often lead to feelings of envy from people who haven't done so to those who have got the power or money that they feel that they need. And sometimes the cost of chasing wealth can be often too high for those who do chase it. For many, going after that job or that position, being an entrepreneur, whatever, means sacrificing relationships, fun times, and even if you're not chasing wealth, nowadays, you know, cost of living, well, people are having to sacrifice this to meet the basic living costs and standards, and this can often lead to regrets later in life, or the ill will of others when you've got money and fame and all the rest of it, or not even fame, just money, or not even. For some people, you could have £21 and they've got £19, and because you've got £2 more than them, they're jealous, you know. Or you've got a car, even though your car could be an A-Reg, remember A-Regs? Like 1990. And you could have a B-Reg in 1991, and just because you've got a newer car, even though they're both quite old, they could envy. My point is, people get really envious of anything nowadays. But anyway, back on track. So as we enter this new cycle of the lunar eclipse in the spring and the flower moon and all the rest of it, we have to reflect on what truly matters to us in our lives. So whilst financial stability is necessary for survival, it should not come at the cost of your personal relationships or your overall well-being. And we have to take the time to try and strike a balance between our ambitions and our relationships with ourselves and other people and our higher power. And furthermore, the symbolism of the pugilist entering the ring also highlights the importance of perseverance and determination in achieving your goals. And, you know, the journey ahead may be challenging, but with a strong will and unwavering dedication, success can be in reach. So, you know, it's just about thinking about, as I said earlier, how much money do you want? The world may say you must be a billionaire or millionaire, but what actually will make you happy? What money do you need to meet your needs? What friends, what family, what lovers, you know, what do you need to provide the lifestyle that you actually want? Not the lifestyle you've been told to want, the one that you truly want. And often what we think and have come to believe that will make us happy is not actually what will make us happy. So in summary, the 21st degree of Aries and the sun being there wants us to enter this new phase of life and growth with a learning mindset, taking the necessary risks to reach our goals, but always prioritising our relationships and well-being when doing so. And it reminds us with perseverance and determination and the balance between ambition and compassion for ourselves and others, we can achieve greatness without sacrificing the things that truly matter to us in our life. So enter the ring, the metaphorical, spiritual, material ring with confidence and grace, ready to face whatever challenges may come your way. And in a different content, so on the esoteric level, this 21st degree of Aries, the image of the two fighters engaged in combat can be likened to the Tai Chi symbol, representing the interplay between the opposing energies of yin and yang, and each energy can give us the experience of victory and triumph, yet this victory is always fleeting in a dualistic world. So the ebb and flow of life, sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down, and we've all seen people have money 1 million and they lose it all and stuff like that. And it's a reminder that there's always an opposing force that is always present and ready to counter attack. So when we're depressed, happiness can be there, and when we're happy, depression can come and stuff like that, and that it's only through balance and harmony that true success can be achieved. Similarly, we often encounter conflicting situations and difficult decisions in our lives, and it's important to approach these challenges with a balanced perspective, considering both the positive and negative impacts of each decision. By embracing both the yin and yang energies within us, so the masculine and feminine sides that we've all got within ourselves, we can find a sense of peace and navigate life's ups and downs with grace. And remember, success is just not about winning battles, but it's also about maintaining a sense of equilibrium in aspects of life, because what I've noticed, and if you go through history, lots of people can get money, but keeping and maintaining your status and maintaining, if you want to use the word power, it's so much harder. Normally it goes ups and downs. So yeah, this Sabian degree wants us to find a balance between meeting our spiritual and material needs, neglecting either on the esoteric level. Uranus is in the 25th degree of Aries, and the tagline of Uranus in the 21st degree of Aries is "A double promise reveals its inner and outer meaning." So this symbol represents the dual and dynamic nature of promises and agreements, and is also associated with the potential and possibilities, and spotlighting that this is and confirming a transformative period of change of evolution, if you want to go that way. And again, backing up that unexpected changes and surprises can come our way, but even though it can be painful and all the rest of it, they do open us up to a new beginning. And at the time of this lunar eclipse, the earth gets in between the sun and the moon, and the sun is blocking the moon from getting any direct light from the sun. And although we don't see the moon shining brightly at the time of this full moon, it's important to know that the moon doesn't actually have any light. When I researched and double researched and confirmed this, I was like, wow, the moon, see, you learn something new every day. Just never think you know it all. But yeah, so yeah, the moon simply reflects the sun's light back to us. So think of it like one big solar panel, kind of, where the moon is just, it has no light, it's just, it soaks up the sun's rays throughout the day when we can't see it, and then at night it reflects it back to us. So isn't the cosmos a beautiful thing, really, when you think of it like that? And this symbol reminds us of the importance of two seemingly opposing powers working together, because after all, the moon represents feminine energy and the sun represents masculine energy. So yeah, the 25th degree of Aries serves as a reassurance that individuals can effectively function in two states of consciousness if we are willing to remain receptive, having the capability and willingness to mold your mind in a way that allows for spiritual, esoteric and unknown knowledge to manifest, as well as listening to the scientific, medical, material, intellectual sort of knowledge that's available in our world as well. And if we're willing to remain flexible and keep on refining our characters and heal our psychological, emotional, spiritual wounds, and manage any, psychological, physical health issues. We can encounter vitality and rebuild our energy and renew ourselves and our on both the eternal, external planes and levels. And the underlying message of this 25th degree of Uranus is that we must believe in ourselves to achieve success in both our internal and external goals. And the symbolism of the double promise reveals that there is always more to any situation than meets the eye. So, it's reminding us to take a deeper look into ourselves and consider the multiple perspectives before making any judgments. Because we've got a lot of arguments in our world today. I'm right, you're wrong. My country's better, your country's better, and all of this. And, before we judge, we should just try and walk a day in other person's life. Because, we were all kind of programmed, especially in the Western world, to judge. And we shouldn't do that really, because I believe that fundamentally most people are good, and I don't want to say some are bad, but because I know karmic reasons, we all have to go through our lifetimes of being a serial killer. Yes, I said it, or any other person that we think are the lowest of the low. I do believe that we go through cycles of life, so I don't judge anyone, because I'm aware that we must go through all cycles to become. And I'm not saying anything's right or wrong. Obviously, killing people and hurting people in any way, I don't agree with it, but what I'm saying is that I don't judge it. So yeah, the lunar eclipse reminds us of life's cyclic nature, the cycle nature, spring, summer, autumn, winter. And although at times it can appear that something's blocking our paths, we can trust that it will pass and the light will shine again. And just as the moon reflects the sun's light, we too must reflect on our own inner shadow and allow it to guide us through any challenges or obstacles. So collectively, the Sabian degree suggests that the full flower moon in Libra can bring us a shift in consciousness and can be a turning point for all of us who's open to it, to make new beginnings in our lives. And some of us may decide to live more communally or make more social connections. For many, this lunar eclipse may help them to come together with all the different aspects of themselves in a calm and peaceful way. But we should also be mindful of any promises or agreements made during this time, as there may be hidden meanings or dual deceptive intentions to check all facts. But overall, this lunar flower moon eclipse holds great potential for growth and transformation, both personally and collectively. And the combination of all these symbols and aspects today foreshadows a time of balance, cooperation and transformation, urging you to embrace your inner warrior and aim for meaningful changes in your life. So now I'm going to talk about the interpretation for all 12 sun, moon and rising signs. And how I do astrology is that, if you've got strong Libra energy in your chart, so most of Venus is your chart ruler, or you've got lots of planets in Libra, then you read what I'm going to say for Libra. But if your sun's also in Scorpio, then you read what I say for Scorpio as well. So yeah, that's how I view it. So you may have to end up reading 3 or 4 of these interpretations. So yeah, and ultimately what's going to happen for you specifically can only be determined by looking at your current transits and of course your natal chart. But yeah, I'm going to talk about the interpretation for the 12 sun, moon and rising signs now. So yeah, for Libra sun, moon and rising, the moon's going to be in your first house, so a time of self-reflection. They may bring about a heightened sense of emotions and sensitivity for you guys. It's an opportunity to assess whether your relationships align with your values. This period may bring adjustments to your relationships and how you interact with others. It's crucial to keep communication open and honest to prevent any misunderstandings. It's also an excellent time to focus on self-care and personal growth, as it can directly impact your relationships and how you negotiate, navigate them over the next 3 months to 3 years. And it's important to focus on balancing balancing your needs with those around you, as Libra energy prioritizes harmony and relationships. So take some time out to reflect on your relationships and make sure that they're healthy and balanced, as this will ultimately bring more peace and happiness to you. And of course, make sure you're looking after your own needs and the relationship you should be having with yourself. Okay, so for Virgo and Virgo Sun, of course, Moon and Rising, the Moon's going to be in your second house, so this is a time to focus on your finances and material possessions. The energy of this lunar eclipse will prompt you to evaluate your relationship with money and whether you are managing it effectively. It's an excellent opportunity to reassess your budget, cut unnecessary expenses and organise your financial plan. You may also find yourself drawn to material possessions during this time, so it's essential to be mindful of your spending habits and to avoid impulsive purchases. By focusing on your financial well-being, you can take useful steps towards creating a more stable and secure future over the next 3 to 36 months. And it's important to overall, work towards your financial stability and security, evaluate your current financial situation and make any changes that need doing to make sure that you are on and stay on the right path. And this may require a shift in your mindset and how you approach money for some of you, as Virgo energy tends to be practical and analytical. So trust in your abilities and act towards creating a more stable future for yourself. For Leo, Sun, Moon and Rising, the Moon's in your third house at the time of the full moon Penumbral Eclipse, so it's time to reflect on your communication skills and how you express yourself and try and do this better. Because the third house represents communication, self-expression and the way we interact with others daily. So when the Moon is in this house, it allows us to explore our communication style and find ways to refine and improve it. You may find yourself reflecting on how you communicate with others, whether in your personal or professional life, and how you can express yourself more effectively. Take this time to focus on listening to others and make an effort to communicate more clearly and efficiently. And with the energy of Leo, use your creativity to express yourself authentically and confidently, but also watch out for overstepping other people's boundaries and respect that. So be mindful of how your words may impact those around you and strive to communicate with more empathy and understanding over the next 1 to 3 years. For Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising, the Moon's in your fourth house at the time of the eclipse, so for you the focus is going to be on refining your emotional intelligence and exploring your family dynamics. Yay! So it's a period of introspection and emotional growth, emphasizing nurturing and re-evaluating your family's role in your life. Some of you may examine how your emotions impact your relationships with your loved ones. It's basically a time for you guys to express deep-rooted family issues and heal emotional wounds, taking the opportunity to create a supportive home environment that nurtures emotional well-being. Remember that emotional intelligence is a skill that can be developed and refined over times, and through this process individuals with Cancer, Moon, Sun and Rising can better understand themselves and their relationships with others, and this can lead to more fulfilling and harmonious connections over the next 36 months for you guys. Some of you may experience strong emotions and memories related to your family and home life, early childhood or whatever home is to you. Ultimately for you guys, it's time to reflect on your roots, where you come from, and establish a sense of emotional security within yourself, because this lunar eclipse may also bring changes to your current living situation or family dynamic. So be prepared to adapt and find comfort in your own inner strength and inner self, and remember to prioritize self-care during this time, as emotional processing can be draining after all. So for Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising, it's a time to explore your creative side and develop new hobbies, as the Moon's in your 5th house. So, you know, this is a time for you to try out new forms of artistic expression, such as painting, writing, or using an instrument, singing, or any other form of musical expression. It's an opportunity to engage in activities that stimulate your intellect, such as learning a new language or taking up using new technology. I mentioned AI earlier, adapting to that, because, you know, Gemini is known for its ability to adapt and change. So you guys pretty much can be, those with lots of Gemini energy, quickly pick up new things. So, you know, this can be a period of experimentation and discovery that can lead to newfound passions or skills over the next 3 to 6 months. So focus on uncovering your talents or how you be inspired to try something new. However, it's important to remember to find a balance between your playful side and with your, you know, responsibilities and discipline, to avoid getting caught up in too much fun is the such things can be, and neglecting your responsibilities and commitments. So just watch out for that. Okay, for Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising, the Moon's in your 6th house, so it's a time to prioritise health and wellness and organise your environment right now. So yeah, it's a great time to establish a new spiritual exercise, food, or any other sort of routine that you need to do. It's also a good idea to cleanse and organise your working environment, as well as declutter your home or your room or your space. Cleaning up your surroundings can positively impact your mental state and enhance your efficiency. During this time, people may also consider setting aside some time to reflect on their emotional and mental well-being and seek out help or any other guidance if necessary. Overall, this period presents an opportunity to take care of your physical health and also your spiritual and emotional well-being as well, and make positive changes in your lifestyle. As well, it's important to reevaluate your daily routines and make some changes to improve it, and to look at the practical aspects of your life and take them more seriously, and making sure that you meet in your responsibilities. And although you have to do that, you know, prioritize your obligations. Don't forget to take some time out to look after yourself and not to get too bogged down in working a focus on that self-care. Okay, and for Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising, the Moon is in your 7th house at the time of the full flower moon. So this is putting relationships, partnerships and collaborations under the spotlight, and the need to find balance and fairness in all your interactions with others, encouraging you to put yourself out there and make new connections with those who share your values and goals. It's also a good time to reflect on current or past relationships and learn from their successes and failures, creating strategies for improving, you know, your connections with yourself and others moving forward. And by focusing on healthy communications and respecting your own and other people's boundaries, and also, you know, being more open-minded, you can strengthen your partnerships and collaborations for future success. Over the next 3 years, spend time reflecting and reassessing your relationships. Some of you may feel the urge to assert your independence and take charge of your life right now, but it's important to remember that compromise and collaboration are key to any successful partnership. Also, this eclipse may also bring up unresolved issues or conflicts in your relationships, prompting you to work on finding resolutions and, you know, healing any wounds that you may have. Also, at the time of this lunar eclipse, the moon's in the 8th house of Pisces, Sun, Moon and Rising, so it's time to explore your innermost fears and desires and uncover any hidden truths. And you know, you may be forced to uncover them. It may not all be sunshine and rainbows doing so. So yeah, this placement encourages introspection and self-exploration, as well as examination of any subconscious issues or behaviours that may be holding you back. You may feel more more sensitive and intuitive during this time, allowing you to better connect with your emotions and those of others. It's a time to confront and let go of any negative beliefs or thought patterns that no longer serve you, to pave room for more personal growth and transformation, and any relationships that are holding you back, looking with a focus on finding and seeking harmony and balancing your interactions, particularly in regards to intimacy and shared resources. Use this time to bring light to any hidden truths and embrace them, and if any are forced upon you, embrace them as well, with compassion and understanding. And for those of you opening up to, or who are going on or open to a spiritual awakening, this eclipse may bring up some deep emotions about your past lives and stuff like that, and any repressed desires that you're holding back as well. And also great energy for you to focus on your spiritual growth over the next 36 months as well. Some of you may be really drawn to going deeper into your spiritual practice, exploring the mysteries of life more, and looking into death or having to confront it, and also seeking more deeper connections with others. You're wanting to go more beneath the superficial and into the depths at this time. All in all, it's time to let go of any old patterns of beliefs that are holding you back, and embrace your intuition and inner wisdom, and also any relationships that are holding you back as well. And stay grounded, take practical steps towards your goals, and take care of your physical and emotional and spiritual well-being as well. And at the time of the lunar eclipse, the moon is in the 9th house of Aquarius, sun, moon and rising, symbolising wisdom and dreams that can be realised with some action. So as we know, in astrology, the 9th house represents higher learning, spiritual growth and personal beliefs. Aquarius is known for being unconventional and innovative, so this placement suggests that unconventional ideas and wisdom can bring you success at this time. Additionally, data-driven insights and technological advancements may play a vital role right now. So earlier I said, this eclipse is about mixing the scientific with the spiritual, and so for you guys, this is what this lunar eclipse wants you to do. People with a lot of Aquarius energy in their birth charts may experience sudden changes that results in positive growth. The 9th house also represents travel, adventure and exploration, so the moon being in your 9th house at the time of the solar eclipse may signify that some of you may travel, and this can lead to significant personal growth, and that these positive things can come from adventures over the next 3 years. Now is the time to focus on the deeper meanings of life and connect with your inner spirituality, or explore new intellectual, religious, technological, spiritual, religious for some of you, beliefs or philosophies. This is the time to embrace your curiosity and seek out new experiences that expand your understanding of the world and the people in it. However, it's also essential to be mindful of becoming too attached to any belief system as you research and stuff. Keep an open mind and allow yourself to evolve and grow as you continue to learn. So for Capricorn, sun, moon and rising, the moon is in your 10th house, so this symbolises the completion of goals and a sense of success. The lunar eclipse may bring about you wanting to change your career or public image, and you may look for more recognition and status, and seeking emotional fulfillment from your work. And what you really need to do is reassess your professional goals and consider the bigger picture. The moon represents our innermost emotions and desires, so it's best for you to find a balance between your personal and professional life, and harness the energy of the moon to pursue your goals while also taking care of your emotional needs and making sure you don't experience burnout or repress your feelings because of work pressures and neglect your relationships in the process. Use the potent energy of the lunar eclipse to set intentions that align with your authentic self and needs. Remember to honour your emotions as they guide you towards living a more meaningful life, and nurture your relationship with yourself and others. It's a time to focus on achieving success while staying true to yourself, or finding what truth is for you, and maintaining emotional equilibrium, balance. Keep in mind that true success comes from finding a balance between your inner and outer worlds, so meeting your emotional, spiritual needs and your material, financial needs as well. And although you may feel the strong urge to pursue your ambitions and step into a leadership role, and go ahead and do that, balance, balance, balance is your key word. Just going to say that and put that out there again. And because, you know, over the next 36 months you may learn valuable lessons that show you that success and recognition should not come at the cost of your personal values, relationships or integrity. So use this time to reflect on your true passions and align your goals with your inner purpose, and remember to take care of yourself and prioritize your well-being as you navigate this period of growth and change. Okay, at the time of this lunar eclipse, the moon will be in the 11th house of Sagittarius suns, moons and risings. So this symbolises luck and new experience for you guys, and the 11th house is associated with personal aspirations, hopes and dreams, and the pursuit of social and professional goals, often mixing the two. So the moon in the 11th house of Sagittarius sun, moon and risings at the time of the lunar eclipse puts that some of you may have a deep emotional need for friendship and social connections right now, and over the next coming years you will put a great importance on being part of a larger community, some of you, and sharing ideas and ideals with others. For some of you it'll be groups of people, for some of you it'll be one or two others, whatever. You may also find that you feel more harmony and balance in your relationships as you seek out networking and making new friends and strengthening your existing bonds. For some of you it's be creating new ones, focusing more on independence, adventure and honesty and authenticity in your relationship. Some of you may seek new horizons and get out of your comfort zone when it comes to your friendships. Over the months after the lunar eclipse, some of you may experience more luck in life and feel like you're in the right place at the right time. You may be unafraid to take risks and frequently attract new opportunities for travel, personal growth and new adventures and opportunities and relationships, joining new groups or deepening your commitment to existing groups. Some of you may commit to a journey of discovery, exploring new possibilities and uncovering hidden potentials along the way. Overall, this combination suggests a focus on finding your place in the world through social connections and a desire for more meaningful relationships over the next 3 years. The effect of this lunar eclipse may bring about a period of introspection and reflection. Ultimately, it's time to connect with your inner self and contemplate your values, beliefs and aspirations, and this can lead to the deepening of your spiritual practice or a shift in your perspective in your life. Okay, for Scorpio sun, moon and risings, the moon is in your 12th house at the time of the lunar eclipse on the 5th of May. So, you may be triggered to release old emotional thought and behaviour patterns. Past trauma, psychological and spiritual ones especially, may come to the forefront of your mind. Some of you may experience an awakening of some kind that brings a deeper understanding of your innermost desires and motivations. So these realizations can be intense, but they are transformative, and the keynote for you guys is overcoming your personal demons, facing fears and letting go of attachments to your past. So yeah, the 12th house is associated with the subconscious mind, so this may be a time for inner reflection and exploration, unlocking hidden potential and gaining a greater sense of self-awareness. Scorpios, rising sun and moon individuals may strengthen or develop their intuitive and psychic abilities at the time of this lunar eclipse, which can be used to uncover hidden information and reveal hidden truths. Ultimately, the moon being in the 12th house of Scorpio sun, moon and risings at the time of the flower moon symbolises the journey towards finding deeper meaning and purpose in life, dealing with your secrets. You may have them forced out into the dark, and this can be scary because sometimes Scorpio energy wants to keep everything to themselves, and this can lead to you hiding even your own truth from yourself. So we try and embrace whatever comes out right now, even though you may not want to, and confront your fears and insecurities and work on forgiving and healing yourself and others. And forgiving others, healing others if you can, but healing yourself, in mostly healing yourself. Or do not give to others what you can't give to yourself, so just think about it that. But sometimes helping others can help us heal, so just find the balance, you know, indulge in self-care. Also, don't be afraid, but you guys in particular can be more open to transformation and growth and intensity than the other zodiac energies. So yeah, and you may need to seek out support from loved ones if you can, or therapists at this time, and just, you know, practice self-care, be gentle on yourself, and embrace whatever comes to your attention right now. So yeah, that's the end of the analysis for the 12 zodiac signs, and also for this analysis of the lunar eclipse for the 5th of May, Penumbral eclipse, flower moon. So yeah, thanks for tuning in to the lunar eclipse, and take care of yourself. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe and share if you want to, and just thanks once again to my long-term listeners and to new ones too. Can't forget you. Take care, and bye bye for now.